Hello my dear students, I am Miss Rawan and today it is going to be our fourth lesson. Our fourth lesson, of course, we are going to start with our big story, Horse Heroes. In this big story, we are going to listen and analyze page 128, 131. Then we're going to answer reading comprehension questions after each page we listen to. I hope you all, my dears, to open page 128 and 129, and if you can see, you can write the date only here on this white space on the horse. I hope you all write the date here. Our big story is about horse heroes. Horse heroes. It is going to be not only one story, but different stories, many stories about horses and their riders. Of course, all these horses are true stories. True, it means real stories, and they are about amazing horses. Let's see here the genre of our story. Let's hear the genre of our story. Let's listen.
Expository text recounts a true event or series of events.
So, he told us it is about expository text. Expository, it means real facts, real information, real stories that happened, of course, in the past in these stories. So it is expository text. It means real information and real stories. After that, I want you to open page 130 and write the date at the top of it. Write the date at the top of page 130 here. Now, let's listen together to page 130. Then we're going to analyze it together. 1, 2, 3.
Horses and humans have worked together for thousands of years. From the vast wilderness to the Hollywood movie set, horses have served us faithfully while playing an important role in history. Horses can be found in our art, religion, and mythology. Let's look at some of history's most famous horse heroes. Pony Express. When the little Mustang came into view, the crowd began to cheer. Her rider, Johnny Fry, led her into the packed town square of St. Joseph, Missouri, that warm April evening in 1860. Johnny checked the mail pouch on the Mustang's back for the last time as she snorted excitedly. A cannon boomed. They were away. The Mustang raced off into the evening twilight.
All our story is talking about Pony Express Company. Pony Express, it's a name of a company in the United States in the past. Pony Express, it is a company, of horse relay designed to keep the mail moving day and night. So this Pony Express, they had, let me just hear. Of course, this is the United States, Pony Express, they had different stations, around the states, and in every station you will find a lot of horses. And what do they do? Of course, there are riders for these horses. They send mails to the states around America. What does mail mean? Mail, it means letters sent in envelopes. Letters sent in envelopes, of course, around the United States. The first story here, he talked about a little Mustang. Mustang, of course, it's an American horse. There are kinds of American horse called Mustang, okay? About a Mustang and its rider, famous rider Johnny Fry. Johnny Fry. Johnny Fry, he wanted to deliver the mail from Missouri to California. From Missouri to California. Of course, he started his journey in 1860 in April evening, of course, April evening. He had to cross 2,000 miles. Imagine, he had to cross 2,000 miles from Missouri to California. Of course, he went outside with his horse and he was going to take off to start his journey from Missouri. All the people, the crowd, they were outside and they began to cheer for the Mustang and its rider Johnny Fry. So before he took off, he checked the mail pouch on the Mustang's back. Teacher, what do you mean by pouch? Okay, here is it. Yes, in this picture. So pouch mean like a pocket on the saddle of the horse. What do they put inside it? Of course, the mails, the letters, okay? They put it inside the pouch. Why did he check? He checked that everything inside the pouch of the Mustang's back. Then the cannon boomed. Cannon means like, here's the cannon. Yes, cannon boomed. And here he started to ride his horse to California, and he had to ride for a long distance, which was 2,000 miles from Missouri to California. Now I will ask you 3 questions about this paragraph. The first question: who was the rider of the Mustang? Who was the rider of the Mustang? Excellent. Johnny Fry. Johnny Fry. The second question: where did the Mustang have to go? Where did the Mustang have to go? Excellent. From Missouri to California. From Missouri to California. The third question: how many miles from Missouri to California? How many miles from Missouri to California? Excellent. 2,000 miles from Missouri to California. Now let's continue listening. The second page, page 131. I hope you all write the date at the top of the page too. Thank you. Now let's listen. 1, 2, 3.
Leaving the cheering crowds far behind, horse and rider had entered history as the first ever Pony Express team. In 1860, there were no such things as telephones and fax machines. If you lived on the west coast of the United States, keeping up to date with the latest news on the East Coast was almost impossible. It could take more than a month for mail to travel across the continent by wagon. The Pony Express was a horse relay designed to keep the mail moving day and night. It cut down the time taken for mail to reach California to just 8 days. Each horse and rider galloped at top speed to the next station. The rider leaped off the exhausted horse, shouting, "Pony Rider coming!" The mail was transferred to a fresh horse, and the rider galloped off again on his new mount. There were 157 relay stations, and riders changed horses about 6 to 8 times. The teams risked death together on a daily basis. Much of the route lay through the homelands of American Indians, some of whom declared war on the invaders of their territory.
Here in this page, guys, they are telling us about Pony Express Company. They have told us that the horse and rider, they have entered the history as the first ever Pony Express team. Of course, my dears, in the past we all know in the past there were no telephones, no fax machines, and of course at that date it was 1860. There were none of these, the telephones or fax machines. So if you were in the United States and you live in the West, you could know nothing about the ones who live in the East. And if you want to know news about the East, you have to wait for the mail, and it even might take more than 1 month. It can take more than 1 month to take your mail. Then they told us that, again here as I told you before, the Pony Express was a horse relay. Relay means group of people or animals, and of course here in the Pony Express we have riders and horses. So it was a horse relay designed to keep the mail moving day and night around the United States. Of course it was like a big process if you want your mail to reach you. For example, when the horse take off from one station and it wants to reach you, he had of course the rider to gallop at top speed to the next station. He had to take of course to stop at the next station. What does he do? He changes the horse. Why? Because the horse of course gets exhausted. Exhausted mean very tired. When the horse gets exhausted, he has to change the horse. So he get off, he leap off, jump off from the horse, and the rider say, "Pony Rider coming!" And what do? They bring him a fresh horse, a new horse, and of course he put the mails on the new horse, and he gallop off again. He ran again on his new horse to the next station until he deliver the mail. Do you know that at that time in the United States there were 157 relay station, 157 around the United States, of course, for these stations. And the rider, by the way, he had to change the horse about 6 to 8 times. Imagine, of course, he cannot run in one horse only until he reaches the States. He has to change the horse 6 to 8 times until he reaches his destination or the place. Of course, it was dangerous at that time, and the team risked death together. Of course, who's the team? The team of the horse and the rider. Of course, sometimes a lot of them, they used to die, but of course they had to go through a lot of things. Here, my dears, I have 3 questions for you. The first question I am going to ask you: when was there no telephones and fax machines? When was there no telephones and fax machines? Excellent. 1860, there were no such things as telephones and fax machines. The second question is: how much could it take to send a mail? How much could it take to send a mail? Excellent. It could take more than a month for a mail to travel across the continent. Excellent. It could take more than a month. The third question: what is Pony Express? What is Pony Express? Excellent. The Pony Express was a horse relay designed to keep the mail moving day and night. Day and night.